That's around though. Yeah.
We've been arguing with NDOT because they're shutting the intersection down. We can't get trucks from KK. So it's affecting our production. We gotta try to shimmy trucks around. It's a freaking mess.
Oh, I bet so. I didn't think about that.
They take for it. They're not taking for it. No, they have to go all the way up the interstate and around down 37. So it's super cost prohibitive to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's what, 2 miles? Got a straight line?
Like I say, it is NDOT.
Whenever you want to call the order, Mr. Thomas, we are.
Call this meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
moment silence, Call this meeting to order. The Township School Corporation special meeting of the Board of Trustees. All members are present except Larry. He's out of town.
Yes, sir.
Adoption of the agenda Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Thank you, Ross. Any discussion on this agenda? There is no discussions. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Next item up, communications from the public.
If no one signed up.
No one signed up. New business.
Okay, so this meeting is for the preliminary determination hearing with respect to our proposed resolution and a project coming up. I'd like to welcome Jacob from Post McKinney. Sorry, I had a moment there, Jacob. He serves as our bond counsel.
Yes.
And he will kind of walk us through the next few steps. So Jacob.
Thanks, John. So yeah, Jacob with both McKinney and Evans. I know you guys have been through kind of similar processes in the past. It's been a couple of years, but there will be a number of public hearings and approvals that you guys will need to go through for this bond issue. Because of the size of the potential bond you're issuing, we've got to do 2 additional public hearings. We've got to put out a notice, and that starts a 30-day period when folks could petition to have the referendum process apply. So this is different than what you've done in the past, but pursuant to 61.120-3.5, you've got to hold the 2 public hearings and take public comment. Very similar to what you would have had to do with the 1028 resolution hearing, but a little bit more detail. So just for reference, the project includes the laundry list that's included in the resolution, and it's, for the record, the acquisition, construction, equipping by the school corporation of a new auxiliary gym, classrooms, and certain other related renovations, improvements, upgrades, repairs, replacements, and equipping by the school corporation adjacent to Tell City Senior High School, and general renovation, equipping, and rehabilitation of all facilities owned or leased by the school corporation, including but not limited to HVAC repairs, renovations, roofing repairs, and renovation, parking improvements, bus pickup and drop off improvements, sidewalk improvements, drainage improvements, lighting, outdoor building, landscape, playground, and athletic facility renovations and improvements, safety and security improvements, building envelope, structural, exterior, organization, and efficiency renovations and improvements, classroom, restroom, and administration renovation, equipment improvements, building mechanical and plumbing system renovation and improvements, building electrical system renovation and improvements, and any other renovation, equipping, construction improvements of the facilities. So I'll note that list something doesn't mean you're going to do it. There's an opportunity to do it. And then this will be structured as a initiative by your building corporation. So we'll have all the additional public hearings related to the lease, and we'll have to convene the building corporation. As far as timing, we anticipate another public hearing next week with you all adopting assuming you adopt the preliminary determination resolution. That starts with, like I said, a 30-day clock. We'd be back in September or I should say in September that 30-day notice runs. We'd be back in October for some additional approvals, November for final approvals, with a sale of bonds in late November and closing and funds available in mid-December. With that, I'll turn it back over to John to discuss the educational need for the project.
Sure. So as Jacob said, we tried to encompass everything that we could with this bond issuance. The biggest chunk of it would be dedicated to the auxiliary gym. We obviously are tight on gym space with all of our athletics, plus it includes a brand new weight room that all of our students would be able to use for physical activities and physical education. On top of that, the money not dedicated to that building would then go to our building assessment study, which was done back in 2021. We've got some HVAC needs. As you all know, we're wrapping up the roofs. Then we can start working on HVAC, upgrading that, and then making our way down into the building. So we did kind of write this to encompass everything, including the kitchen sink.
One other thing I would just add, John, is the parameters in the resolution are not to exceed parameters, and when you guys go to issue, you'll issue kind of based on market and your actual need. So
Correct.
Yeah, the parameters that are set, those are kind of extreme. I don't say extreme, but they're the worst case kind of scenario parameters. So we're anticipating a bond closer to 10 million. It is allowing something up to 11 million just in case bids come in high, something changes between now and then. We wanted the flexibility to be able to adjust without resetting the process, because if we needed a little bit more money and the parameter was set at a flat 10 million, we would have to start this process. So the idea was kind of to avert that, as well as on the interest rate. Right now, we're estimating a coupon around 5%. This preliminary determination will allow up to 7%. So it's kind of the best of, it's kind of allowing the extremes of both sides of par amount and interest rate amount. But even with these high-end parameters, due to the pension bonds and your 2011 bonds rolling off at the end of this year, and your 2019 bonds maturing at the end of 2029, we can still do this by keeping your levy either current where it's at or decreasing it over the next, or decreasing it over the next couple of years. So from a tax rate or a total tax kind of idea, kind of a net neutral change.
Right. That was the whole idea behind going this route, was to make sure that there was there was a tax neutral issuance.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
With that, John, unless you want more info, unless the board wants more info from Bob with London Witty, I think you could open, or Tony could open the public hearing.
Does anyone have any other questions from London Witty regarding why we're going to it? The 11 million is just kind of a cushion in case we don't get the interest rates we need or something like that. We're setting it to 10 million, but we wanted that cushion to make sure we could get the money that we needed. But if anybody has any questions for Jacob or Rob or Bob, please go ahead and ask now.
Probably one of the things this board has considered, and you may have this number in your head, is what, and John has discussed it, but when you look at a possible, if it could be 11 million, what number will trigger the remonstrance and go before the voters?
The question, Jacob, is what number on the building will trigger remonstrance and go before the board or the voters?
So next Tuesday, you guys have a meeting set for the public hearing. After that, assuming you adopt that preliminary determination resolution, we have to put out a notice. That starts a 30-day period when folks could go to the county and petition to have the referendum process apply. And it is the lesser of 500 property owners and registered voters or 5% of property owners. So I think, maybe when we discussed before, it'll probably be the 5% number. I'm not sure how many that is though for you all. But though that amount of folks would have to go in and petition to have the referendum process apply in order for there to be a referendum.
But that referendum will trigger on a dollar amount, correct?
He's asking the dollar amount that triggers a referendum.
Any 10 million, well, sorry, it is 6 million. Bear with me. It is 1% of your gross assessed value, which, Bob, I don't know if you know that offhand, but I think it was like 8,800,000-ish to be in the potential referendum area.
It's one of the few numbers I don't have handy.
I'll look and I can kind of see if I can find it, Bob. Because
Yeah, they want something. And I would add to it, so I know it's lower than 10 million, so that was the idea of going up to 11 million, was that either if the parameters at 10 million or 11 million, we're still gonna have to go through this process. So from a process standpoint, it wouldn't change anything.
Okay.
So the gross assessed value is 887,198,722. So it's 1% of that. So it's 8.8 million. Anything kind of over 8.8 million in project triggers potential referendum.
Non-education.
Right, non-educational.
Is that the question?
Non-education.
Non-educational building.
It's, yeah, non-educational building, right.
Well, that would only be towards that building. So if we did $2 million HVAC improvement and an $8 million building, that would not necessarily trigger a referendum, correct?
Correct. You just then have to be careful how you spent the monies and how you kind of accounted for them being separate.
Like $2 million at William Tell Elementary, something completely removed from the other project.
Correct.
Okay. That was the idea behind doing the bond this way, was we would have that lump sum for the building, and then we would have something for William Tell to catch up their HVAC.
And so, yeah, so if you prioritize the gym and the gym comes in really low, then you can just take the funds and use them. It's all one bucket of money as opposed to having two buckets where maybe you finish and you're underneath the budget and then you're stuck with some excess money that you've got to use to pay down bonds. It just maybe gives you more flexibility. But it's a trade-off in having the one bigger project that's potentially subject to referendum.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Any questions for the team?
I'm unfamiliar with how these kind of bonds work with the money, but like in our world, we usually pay up front for engineering costs, site work, prep work, those type of things, sometimes before a project is issued.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the case here, or?
So the question is, any of the before work, the prep work, like UDA designing the building, those kinds of costs that are done beforehand, do they count towards this total, or is it just the brick and mortar building?
General cost of issuance certainly can, and actually, if you'd like me to, in your resolution, I can include a reimbursement provision, which would allow you, if you started to spend on any of these, or if you've already spent on some things that might qualify as these, you could reimburse yourselves from proceeds of the bonds when they're issued.
Well, we've already started some work with UDA on the HVAC and on the building, actually. So we've got that money coming from somewhere else right now.
Yeah. So if we would put, I can put, it does no harm to add a reimbursement provision in your preliminary determination resolution. And so assuming you guys would adopt that next week, We would look 60 days before that for non kind of cost of issuance reimbursements, and you could reimburse yourself for those items. But then anything that's kind of site prep, architectural, council fees, consultant fees, that's related, those you could just kind of look back. There's not really a limit on those.
Okay. Thank you.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Jacob, now Tony needs to open to the public for comment.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Thomas.
Any comment from the public? No comment from the public? We have no comments.
Then I think you,
Go ahead.
There are none. Go ahead, Jacob.
as I say, if there's no comments, then I think you can go ahead and close the public hearing.
If there's nothing else, this meeting is adjourned. Thanks, guys.
Okay, Jacob, so that closes the public hearing, and we're good?
Yep, we will see you next week.
Next Tuesday, 6:30 Central Time.
Similar time.
Yep.
Yep.
See you then.
Same process, but one additional public hearing, but we'll talk through that then. So, thank you.
All right, everyone, have a good night.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.